We are here in the Green Studio, KRFC Fort Collins. Vincent is your host this evening for the Emerging Artist Showcase. Exciting to have Jill Kuch taking the show.
Glad to be here. Thanks so much. It's going to be a great show. I'm so excited.
This is extremely exciting. Later in the show, we'll be joined. Chad Fisher will drop by and accompany Sammy T-Rex Davison on some music. We have some really interesting things to talk about with the Colorado Fiddle Championships. This is going to be extremely exciting, Jill.
Yeah, it's a great story. Super glad to have Chad. Of course, he's pretty special to our household as well. So this whole room has been in great teachings from Chad. So it's awesome.
And Sammy will be playing later in the show with Chad. And just to preface them being on, the Colorado Old Time Fiddlers Association had the Colorado Fiddle Championships down in Denver this past weekend. And in the 17 and under novice class, 10-year-old Sammy T-Rex Davison came in first place.
It's awesome. I got to see the video. I didn't get to be there, but I got to see an amazing video. So way to go, Sammy.
Nice job, Sammy. Really a lot of hard work put into that.
Thank you.
You're absolutely welcome. This is really great to have you here. And we actually also have some other incredible bluegrass music they're going to hear with Eli and Benjamin Slocumb. Hello, you two gentlemen.
Hello.
Hello.
And so that's the show. We've got some great music we're going to hear tonight. This is really exciting, Jill.
Yes, it's very cool.
Benjamin and Eli, you guys have been doing some really cool stuff. Oh, and actually Jimmy Harrington is hanging out in the tech room.
Yes, it's very cool. I can get him on the mic if you want.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm glad to be here.
Really nice to have you, Jimmy. What a musician. He's learning a lot of tech work over at Summit View with Travis Swan, and they're great folks over there, so really nice to have you hanging out. So we are going to hear Benjamin and Eli, and I think it'd be really fun just to get into the first song. Welcome, you two. What are we going to hear first?
So the first song we're going to be playing is called Whiskey Before Breakfast, but the problem is I'm not really old enough to drink whiskey, so my teacher changed it to Juice Before Breakfast.
Juice Before Breakfast. 13-year-old Eli Slocumb and his dad Benjamin. Take it away, gentlemen. That was wonderful. Great job, you two.
Thank you.
Eli and Benjamin Slocumb. We also have Tobias, who's a host for Live at Lunch. Welcome. Thanks for being in here.
Thanks for having us, Vince.
You hear that radio voice, guys?
That was awesome. Yeah. That's why they like bringing me in. Yes, I'm much taller on the radio.
So it's cool to have you in here witnessing some of the great emerging artists here in town.
Well, that's what we came in for. I brought my daughter, Ashlyn, so we can come and experience this firsthand. Listen on the radio is a little tougher in Greeley. We don't get the station very well there, so we drove over.
Really glad to have you here. And another friend, Chloe, is hanging out. It's nice to have you in here as well. We're having a great time here. Thank you very much, Tobias. We are going to chat a little bit with you two guys. Now, the Avos Variety Show happened, I think, the last Friday before, and pretty fun playing over there.
Yeah, it was very fun.
You guys have played over there quite a bit, Eli. If you look back, I think that, could you venture to guess how many times you've played at Avos?
Multiple. I don't know. I don't
Probably
know how
6
many.
times or so.
6 times, and some of those outside as well, with Lineage music.
Yeah. And I've played there once or twice with Chad Fisher's older band, Lonesome Traveler.
Really cool. And Lineage Music Project, Jill, is now what's happening with Chad really giving these youth, as young as in elementary school, performance opportunities where they're actually backing up the youngsters.
Yes, it's true. The vision of Chad's new studio design with Lineage Music Studio allows students to have private instruction as well as group performance experience, which is not typical for private instruction. Oftentimes you just go and do your lesson with your teacher and practice on your own and do your thing. And the even more special part of that is that Chad has a band associated called Lineage Music Project, and they are the professionals that often back up the students, just as Ben does for Eli, which is awesome, and very, very excited that he gets to be a part of all this too. Chad and his bandmates will do that for the youth that are taking lessons. It's a really cool vision, and sometimes Lineage Music Project will donate a portion of their take from a gig into a scholarship fund, so students can then have an opportunity to get more lessons that may not have normally been able to.
Forming a lineage of sorts, you could say.
Indeed.
We're having a great time here. Thanks, Jill. And we're going to continue here on the Emerging Artist Showcase. Vincent is your host. And later in the show, we'll be hearing Sammy T-Rex Davison along with Chad Fisher from the Lineage Music Project. Ben and Eli, we're going to hear your next song.
So the next song I'm going to be playing is called The Gale.
That's fantastic. Benjamin, you really have to be proud of your son, really, given the effort he is to his instrument.
It's awesome. I really enjoy it. And, of course, it's a real treat to be able to play with your own family, your own son, and to be able to go out and play together. It's just a fun time.
Eli, you have a really cool dad.
Indeed.
Eli, how long have you been playing mandolin?
5 years. I started in September of 4th grade. I'm now in 8th grade, so...
And you were at Laurel Elementary School at the time, and you... this was through Chad Fisher, is that correct?
Yes.
So tell us how that all started.
Chad Fisher was originally doing the violin program. There's many other teachers behind him, but now he's the one and only, or the main. But so he decided to put in a mandolin program because he started off as playing mandolin. And I thought that would be really cool because I started off playing the violin and transferred over to the mandolin, which was...
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I started playing violin when I was in first grade.
Right, so you got some classical music training early on.
Mm-hmm.
Never a bad thing. That's always a great thing.
Definitely not. And my teachers before, most of them were classical, and then Chad came and he started teaching more bluegrass around all the students.
Yeah, and you, as a parent at Laurel, you've seen, Benjamin, the progression of what Chad's brought to that school.
Yeah, the growth has been tremendous. Certainly introducing the mandolin to the program was huge. It grew fast. All the kids really wanted the mandolins. They didn't have enough mandolins to provide for all the kids that were in demand, but Chad has done a fantastic job just growing that, and there's a very large collection of kids now playing mandolin over there.
And it really bodes well for the future of the music scene here in Fort Collins to have all of these fearless, as young as elementary school students learning, fiddle and mandolin. And Eli, at 13, I couldn't spell mandolin. You're doing all this amazing stuff with that. So we're having a great time here at Kara FC 88.9 FM. Jill Kuch as our tech. I want to thank you again, Jill. And we're going to hear some more music. Just loving hearing this music. Nice job. And it's worth noting, all of these songs are memorized. There's no music in front of you, Eli. And when we hear Sammy later in the show as well, Sammy T-Rex Davison, later in the show with Chad, it's all memorized, which is a remarkable component, I think, of what you're doing, Benjamin, as well, with, what they're doing, all of you.
Yeah, it's fun. I think we get to a point where we're pretty comfortable with each other, knowing the songs, and it's traditional type music. It's really not really written down. Eli, I don't know if you can tell, but he's improvising quite a bit in this song, and so obviously none of that's written down. He's just changing it up, and I'm trying to follow along.
It's a great thing about those songs. You can take it from a very basic level. Some of these songs can be played really early on in a certain level of that song, and then you get into the improvisation, takes it to a whole nother level.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah. We started out playing it straight, as they say, just with no improvisation, and Eli's now to the point where he's changing it up all the time, and I'm just trying to keep up with him.
Well, let's keep the music going. We'll have you introduce the song first.
So this next song I'm going to be playing is called Liberty.
Eli and Benjamin Slocumb on the Emerging Artist Showcase. Very nicely done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One of the other fun places we were talking about Avos earlier is you've started to perform at the Opera Galleria, which is the farmers market. What a place that is over there.
It's I have a lot of fun with it normally.
There's a staircase over there that we set up under. We call that the little amphitheater under the stairs, and get to play, and the crowd walks by, and we get to engage with them. It's really fun having the little kids come up and kind of dance in front of us. So that's always a good time, and sort of interact with people while we're playing.
It's kind of remarkable. I just recently found out about that actually being there, and it's like this instant community going on there.
Yep.
Yeah, there's quite a crowd that comes through there, and we see friends coming through, and of course we meet lots of people. Just have a good time.
Been fun for Caroline from the food co-op to let us bring musicians over there, and we're looking forward to more of that.
Yeah, we are too.
Okay. We're going to hear some more music from Eli Slocumb along with Benjamin Slocumb, and a little bit here we'll be hearing Sammy T-Rex Davison, who came in first place in the Colorado Fiddle Championships under 18 novice division. I got that down pat now, Sammy. That's really something. Here we go. Want to introduce the next one?
Introduce the song.
So the next song I'm going to be playing is a recent song I learned. It's called Blackberry Blossom.
Nice job, you two. Really, really loving this. Sounded great.
Thank you.
I would love to hear another song.
So the next song I'm going to be playing is called Rock Slide, which is one I have written.
That's right. This is your original song. One of them. Become the songwriter. This is great. Eli Slocumb, Benjamin Slocumb, Emerging Artist Showcase. original song by Eli Slocumb. Nice job, Eli.
Thank you.
Must be pretty fun. Level of confidence to write original song.
Kind of, yeah. I just go with it. I just find something cool that's not similar to another song, and I put something together, and there you go.
Yeah, I like your approach. It works very well. Very well.
Came up with a hot lick and he went with it.
Right. Hey, another great opportunity you two have had recently is your church, Plymouth Church, Plymouth Palooza. How often do I get to say that?
Not very often. There's been a one and an only. This last fall, we had a sort of a gig, if you will, playing with the Honey Getters and a number of other bands that were there as part of a Sunday night festival that we had at our church, potluck, about 200 people. Just had a great time.
It's so great when you get to play in these different places in front of different crowds and different environments. I think that you have to say, Eli, you're learning it's almost like a life skill thing is something that it's approaching, I think, because Eli, specifically, you've been playing out quite a bit in front of people.
A fair bit.
Yeah, on a pretty regular basis, you are, whether it's in front of more of a transitory crowd like at the Opera Galleria, although the people that sell their goods there, they're hearing you the whole time, to, an auditorium or what have you. It's quite diverse what you're experiencing.
And I like it especially when the people I'm playing for actually like that type of music. They seem to be a lot more engaged.
Yeah, that's a good point. Right. Well, and it's cool, too, because a really good example, that song you wrote, that, for me, it kind of transcends any sort of boundary that you could put on music.
That's where the name came from. Rock slide, 'cause it's kind of like a rocky funk thing, and then it's also played in bluegrass instruments, and also my dad came up with the name, because I'm not really the person that comes up with names, because I'm not good at that.
It was totally free association. I came up with a name.
Well, the way your fingers were all over that mandolin, it was like a rock slide. I was watching. Yeah. We're going to hear some more music. We have time for a couple more songs from Eli and Benjamin Slocumb. You are listening to the Emerging Artist Showcase. Vincent as your host, Jill Kuch as our tech. Thank you, Jill. And Jimmy Harrington's shadowing Jill, which is extremely exciting. And Jimmy's got a really good head start with the whole tech realm, and he's been in here playing a number of times. Great to have Jimmy in the tech room there.
Yeah, it's an honor to be back here and learning.
Usually I'm on that side of the window, and you're on this side of the window at least.
Yeah, it's funny switch.
Great. What are we going to hear, gentlemen?
This next song is called My Father's Footsteps, which I learned at Rocky Grass 2013.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Eli and Benjamin Slocumb. And just for folks that are just tuning in, Benjamin, the father of Eli, and Eli is 13.
Yes.
You come along pretty well. I would say, Benjamin, you've got to be quite happy with how Eli's coming along with the instrument.
Oh, yeah, he's blown past me, so I'm just glad to be able to play along at this point.
Now, that was a song that was learned at Rocky Grass, you say?
Yes.
That's a nice segue, because I wanted to ask you about that Rocky experience, Rocky Grass.
So, I've been going for 3 years.
3 years.
And
this year will be our 4th year.
Mm-hmm. And so what that's about is at first for it'd be Sunday through Thursday, they have this thing called Academy where you get to work with the professionals, like the high-end professionals, and learn some techniques and how they learned to be as good as they are. And you do that for Sunday through Thursday, as I said. And then Friday through the next Sunday, it's called the festival, where all those professionals play their music. Some more come in, and it's a very fun experience. And yeah.
And 2 years ago, Eli got to take lessons from Chris Thiele himself, so that was an unmatched experience, I think. Last year he had 3 great musicians teaching him, Sharon Gilchrist. Who else was there, Eli?
Ronnie McCurry and Mike Compton.
Yeah, the proximity that you get to these nationally, internationally known musicians, to work with them and learn from them is quite remarkable.
Absolutely.
So.
It's like no other. And I think, was it 2 years ago, Eli actually made friends with Noam Pikelny from the banjo player from the Punch Brothers. So Eli's now got a buddy out there.
Yeah, a lot of buddies here pretty soon hearing you play. We have time for a final song from Eli Slocumb with his father Benjamin here on the Emerging Artist Showcase.
So the next and last song I'm going to be playing is my favorite song to play, and it's called Cherokee Shuffle.
Great job tonight, Eli Slocumb. Benjamin, want to thank you both for being on the show, and we are going to look forward to you hanging out with Matt Flinners at the Rocky Grass next year. That's going to be really great on mandolin.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you very much. It was a blast.
And then the Midwinter Bluegrass Fest at the Ramada Inn.
That's right, coming up in February. We're looking forward to that.
February 21st at the Ramada Inn, the Midwinter Bluegrass Festival. And we're going to actually call Chad Fisher to come in to the room. How you doing, Jill? This is a great show, Jill.
Oh, I just love hearing Eli play. It is so awesome. I'm so glad that he's here.
Thank you.
It's great because I remember having you at Laurel, and it was a fun time to see how much you've grown and changed and just gotten even better and better. So I've enjoyed it. And my daughter Grace plays mandolin, so I hope that she can achieve the same level that you're doing. So it's really awesome.
We got a room full of people, Jill. This is great.
Yay, it's a crowd of super fans.
We have Chad Fisher in the room. Look at this. We're forming a Lineage project here. So while Chad is getting set up for just a moment, Jill, you want to talk about the Lineage Music Project as Chad's getting set up here?
I just want to say that they've done some really great shows recently, Lineage Music Project, the band, and they've been really working hard. They've added on to their grouping, so now they are a group of six instrumentalists. They've added a snare drum, which is really cool, along with the other instrumentalists. So it's just been a really neat thing to see everything, the vision that Chad has had come to fruition with, time as we go on. So with their performances that they've had recently, I know that that helps build our scholarship fund in Lineage Music Studio to allow the students to be able to have lessons that may not be able to afford it. So you agree, Chad?
Yes, we have 5 students at my studio itself, and then we're actually, the studio, Lineage Studio, is paying for one teacher to go in and teach a group class once a week. So there's actually students at Laurel taking lessons that are being paid by Lineage Music Studio as well. So I've taken a few kids off the waiting list as a result, and I hope to do more of that in the future.
You just got here from a lesson.
Yes.
Look at that. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I think last time was at Channel 10. We had you up at Channel 10. That was before Christmas. That was a little while ago. But this is extremely exciting. Sammy, you going down to Denver with Chad and performing for the Colorado Fiddle Championships. Congratulations, Sammy.
Thank you.
And quite the remarkable day. Getting up there for the Fiddle Championships, and you are 10 years of age. It was the 17 and under novice category. You obviously went in with a lot of confidence.
And preparation.
I was very nervous at first, but then when I got up there, I was like, I just have to get this done with.
Well, and what Chad and everybody's got to be real proud with is when people sometimes as musicians have that mindset, they maybe go a little bit too quickly, Chad.
Oh, yeah. I can relate to that for sure.
And that obviously did not happen.
Not with her, no. She has this way of just, like, she did at Rocky Grass, too, of once she steps up there, she actually sounds better than the practice itself. She has this like kick in. Something kicks in and takes over, and look out. Here comes Sammy.
I do really well under pressure.
Yep.
That's the T-Rex we're talking about right there.
Old champ.
I saw the video, and there was a look on your face right before you started playing. It was like, look out, here I am. I did totally notice that.
Yep.
I think it'll be really fun to get in to some music. We are going to talk more about that, and we're going to start accompanied. The first 2 songs Sammy's playing this evening are with Chad Fisher from the Lineage Music Project. There is the Facebook page Lineage Music.
As well as Lineage Music Project, which is the band itself. Lineage Music is the studio.
Very great. We're going to hear Blackberry Blossom. And these first 2 songs are the songs, Sammy. And Sammy's
that
playing.
I played for the...
Yes, and your own fiddle here. You'll be switching to mandolin later in the show. Yes, they are indeed. Sammy Davison. Very nice, Sammy Davison. T-Rex Davison.
Champ.
Part of performing in a competition is the connect. Just, I think, having everybody kind of watch each other and to meet each other and to experience each other's music. So I find it very fascinating that the judges that were at this competition, extremely prestigious, accomplished players, were up there witnessing these 2 songs that Sammy and you played together. I have in front of me the 3 of the judges, and Bubba Hopkins, 2012 world champion, Laura Weber Cash, national junior fiddle champion. 20 years after her previous win, she returned in the Nashville Fiddle Contest and won first place in the adult division. Sherry McKenzie, multiple state, regional, national fiddle champion. It's just great. And, with Sherry, she started at 11. Now they're starting actually at Laurel Elementary School at a younger age than that, Chad.
Mm-hmm. I'd say it's safe to say it's not their first rodeo. But yes, they're starting young. There's a lot of contestants down there that actually start really young as well. So they're no stranger to that. But Laurel definitely helps that as well, and it's nice that they provide everything that they do.
So I just have to ask you while you're here, Chad, would you say that there are many programs doing what you're doing, the project, where you get the youth such as Sammy and Eli and these other incredible youth dedicated musicians in the position where they are being backed up by a professional band and to have that support?
I would like to think there is, and I'm sure there is, but I don't think it's as common as maybe the kids think it is. Sometimes when they switch schools, they're like, "Oh, I'm going to just join the violin program over there." And as far as this town goes, or even Loveland as well, that there's not a violin program that I'm aware of that provides the level of service that we do at no cost.
Lineage Music and Lineage Music Project, we're very fortunate to have you in town. Absolutely.
And Laurel Elementary, yes, thank you.
Yeah. We get to hear the other song that was performed that came in first place in the Colorado Fiddle Championship, 17 and under category, novice category.
Yes.
This one is Woodchopper's Reel, Sammy Davison, accompanied by Chad Fisher. Very well done. Sammy Davison,
Thank you.
Lugret, Chad.
Thank you.
How long have you two been working together now?
Since I was in kindergarten, I am in fourth grade now, so about 5 years.
About 5 years.
I remember I had my mandolin sitting there when I was teaching her fiddle in their group class in kindergarten. She goes, "I know what that is. That's a mandolin. I saw those at Rocky Grass." And I said, "All right, I need to keep up with this girl. Her parents must be cool."
Yeah. Well, I've been going to Rocky Grass since I was like 3, so a long time. And it's definitely my favorite festival, and now that I've been doing the academy lately, it's been my favorite week of the year.
I bet. Yeah, you and Eli have some great times in there. And Grace, Kuch, and all the others that are involved going down there. It's quite the community down there, and judging from what everybody gets out of it, it's really unique and it's really something.
It is.
Tell us
Give
the
us
story,
the
Eli.
story.
She beat me in the amount of times that she has gone versus I have gone.
Oh, right.
There you go.
And I have kind of a connection with Eli because he was in the adult academy and I was in the kids one. And my dad was also in the adult one. And at one of the after sessions, like after it was all over, my dad took me to have a mandolin lesson with Wani McCurry. So that was awesome.
Not an experience you get every day.
That would be testament to the sense of community that's going on down there. You know, you can take a lesson from the guy that's performing or headlining the festival.
Right.
You might have to pay for it, but it's accessible.
Really cool. We're going to hear some more music. We are going to hear Fiddlin' Before Breakfast, Sammy T-Rex Davison. Awesome job, Sammy. We are here on the Emerging Artist Showcase, and you sounded great.
Thank you.
I think we should just kind of hear some more music. What do you think, Jill? You want to go ahead and hear some more music?
Sure. How many more fiddle songs do you have, Sammy?
2.
This is Turkey in the Straw
Yes.
on the Emerging Artist Showcase. Good job, Sammy.
Thank you.
We have some more music to hear from you. I thought it'd be fun to keep hearing this great music. You have one more fiddle song. This is Angelina Baker.
Okay.
Very nice, Sammy.
Thank you.
Sammy Davison here on the Emerging Artist Showcase. And just in case you didn't hear us mention it before, Sammy had a really, really fun weekend down with Chad Fisher down in Denver at the Colorado Fiddle Championships. What a day that must have been for everybody.
Yep.
Why don't we have Chad tell us about how that worked? And Vincent, you can go adjust that mic for Sammy's Mando. Go ahead, Chad.
Well, they have a whole lot of divisions there, and it's actually 2 days of fiddling, if you can manage that, or imagine that, and manage it. First, they have, for the first day, it's usually the first round, and they have all the divisions, and there was quite a few divisions on Saturday. I didn't sit through every one of them, and but they were all, the ones I did were all very, performed very well, and what the cool thing is about the festival, or the competition, is it a competition, but as soon as you get off stage, everyone, including the people you're competing against, starts telling you how good you did, even if you didn't do good, and how great you sounded, and make you question their judgment. But
Very supportive crowd.
Yeah,
huh?
it's super supportive. I mean, it's not what you'd expect in a competitive atmosphere like that. But anyway, if you make the cut, as they call it, the second round, and then you're asked back to the second day for the more advanced divisions, and then that's where you actually really get stressed out and start you do a whole another, what they call a round. So each time you perform, you're doing what's called a round. So these, like Sammy went down with her first round, and she had a second round ready, but her division only had one round. So next year she'll have to have that second round. I could go on and on, but
That's awesome.
let's listen.
Very cool.
Just
Well,
music.
thanks for explaining that, because it's hard to know, how those competitions work. So thanks.
Thanks for asking.
Really good. And I believe the first song, Sammy, you now have your mandolin. This
Yes.
is going to be Old Joe Clark.
Yes, indeed it is.
Here we are, Sammy T-Rex Davison.
mule. Her name was Betsy Brown, and every tooth inside her head was 16 inches round. Fare thee well, oh Joe Clark, fare thee well, I'm bound. Fare thee well, oh Joe Clark, goodbye Betsy Brown. Old Joe Clarky had a house 15 stories high, and every story in that house was filled with chicken pie. Fare thee well, oh Joe Clark, fare thee well, I'm bound. Fare thee well, oh Joe Clark, goodbye Betsy Brown.
That's great. We're having really fun music here. We're having on the Emerging Artist Showcase. I want to thank very much Sammy T-Rex Davison for being in here. We have time, I think, for another song or two we can get in here.
By golly, I think we can.
By golly,
Okay.
along
By
with Chad
gosh.
Fisher accompaniment. So we'll kind of let you decide what you want to do there next. The thing that's funny is there's so many songs that Sammy can play, Chad.
She could. We could be here till, midnight
Not that that would be a bad thing at all.
between Eli and her.
What are you going to play, Sammy?
I'm going to play Clinch Mountain Backstep and then Long Journey Home.
This is Sammy T-Rex Davison, accompanied by Chad Fisher.
That's a
I've
hard
not
song.
played that song in a long time.
Couldn't tell.
We're having a great time here, so we're really enjoying this music. I think we have time for a
Long Journey Home?
long journey home.
How appropriate.
Appropriate.
Here we go. Lost all my money but a $2 bill, $2 bill, boys, $2 bill. Lost all my money but a $2 bill, and I'm on my long journey home. Cloudy to the west and it looks like rain. Looks like rain, boys, looks like rain. Cloudy to the west and it looks like rain. And I'm on my long journey home. Black smoke's arising and it surely is a train. Surely is a train, boy, surely is a train. Black smoke's arising and it surely is a train. And I'm on my long journey home. Homesick and lonesome and I'm feeling kinda blue. Feeling kinda blue, boys, feeling kinda blue. Homesick and lonesome and I'm feeling kinda blue. And I'm on my long journey home. Sing along! Lost all my money but a $2 bill. $2 bill, boys, $2 bill. Lost all my money but a $2 bill. And I'm on my long journey home.
Wonderful job tonight, Sammy T-Rex Davison. I want to thank you
Thank you.
very much for being here, along with Mr. Chad Fisher, Lineage Music Project. Thank you, Chad.
Thank you.
Eli and Benjamin Slocumb, I want to thank both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Great music we heard this evening. And we do need to mention the website, coloradofiddlers.org, is the website that takes you to the Colorado Old Time Fiddlers Association, who put on the Colorado Fiddle
Yes, we should
Championships.
definitely thank them as well.
Yes. And January 15th, which is this Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. at Avogadro's Number, there's a bluegrass event happening. Want to thank all of you for listening. Want to thank Jill very much for teching the show. Have a great night, everybody.